Tattoos, Ancient to Modern. Kasama natin si Lane Wilcken, the author of this book. If you have not read this book, I encourage you to take a look at it. You can order it on Amazon. But Lane is the first person that I've ever met that I've actually had the privilege of seeing him do the art of the batok. So to the people that don't know, what is batok?
Basically, it's a tattoo. Batok is a cultural practice that was once had throughout most of the Philippines. Nearly everybody tattooed at one point or another. In fact, when the Spanish first came to the Philippines, they called it La Islas de los Pintados, the islands of the painted people, because of the abundance of tattooing.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about it, because now having a tattoo, there's this deviant connotation to it, right? But really, in the ancient world, what is the significance of having a tattoo?
There's so much meaning that is locked inside of those designs. It's hard to just say, well, this is just a bird, or this is a dog, or this is a centipede design. Those designs have a deep meaning. Some of it is mythological. It contains our oral history as a mnemonic device to remember our past, as well as they denote the spiritual connotation, the spiritual practices of our people. They symbolize the family. They symbolize the genealogical chain of a particular group or tribe. They symbolize status and rank, as well as protected status of women.
Oh, okay.
And
parang anting-anting, right?
Right.
Okay, so how did you get into this? Because there's a process. It's not like anybody just wants to do a tattoo and you can do it. How does one become knowledgeable about this?
It was very hard at first, because the practice has been largely exterminated throughout the Philippines. There are some places in the Philippines where it was exterminated at the Spanish advent, when people were first colonized. And so doing the research for it was very difficult. It was a piece here out of this manuscript, a piece out of this book, a piece of knowledge from this elder or from that person. For example, my uncles knew how to tattoo, but they didn't know any of the designs. They didn't know any of the meanings. They would tattoo American eagles on them, or my one uncle, he has a heart on his chest that he got when he was 10. His brother tattooed him.
Right.
Or they would even do beauty marks on on girls' cheeks.
So how did you come into the art of the batok?
Well, it started in Hawaii again. At that time, the Hawaiians were just starting their cultural renaissance in terms of their uhi, or kakao uhi, their tattoo practices. And I admired that. I admired their tattooing. I also saw Samoan people with their traditional tattoos. And I really liked it, but I didn't want to wear something that was not mine. And so I started doing the research for it. And again, it was just a piece here, a piece there. And it took me nearly 20 years to compile the information that's in that book.
Right.
And it's still not complete. The process of research could continue on for several generations.
But no one else has documented it the way you have. So essentially, I mean, this is a treasure right here, you know? I'm holding on to it. This is Joel Jacinto's copy, so I'm gonna get my own copy, hopefully, and get it signed. But how important is it to be mentored when it comes to the art of the batok?
It's not just poking a needle in a skin. There's a technique to it. There is a relationship between you and the person as they receive it. You have to be sensitive to how the skin is reacting. With a tattoo machine, you're going to put the ink in there whether the person wants it or not. It's going in. It's a machine. But with this, there's a sensitivity that you have to develop with the person to make sure that each strike, you don't pound it too deep. You can only put it in about 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters deep in that area in there. If it goes too deep, the design could blow out. If it doesn't go deep enough, if it's too shallow, the ink will come out and it won't stay.
Okay, I heard through the grapevine that you are very much in demand, because I'm meeting people that I don't even know that you know, and I'm like, I know who did that tattoo. Your work is is very striking. And when I see Filipinos sporting your tattoo, I know that you did it. It's interesting because there are all these people that it is a privilege and an honor for you to work on them, so I just want to understand, like, what is the process for you to actually accept someone to be tattooed?
Well, I don't tattoo people like a tattoo artist does. If you go to a tattoo artist, you go into a shop, you tell them what you want. You might pick a design from the wall, you might have something in mind already, and then you pay them and they tattoo you. But I don't do that.
Nobody can tell you, oh, this is the design I want. It has to come from you?
It depends. If it's appropriate, I will tattoo it, because I tattoo as a ritual.
I see. Okay, this is very interesting. When we return, we'll talk about this ritual and why it's important to understand it. We'll be right back.